You're walking the streets of Edalorn, a subsection of the greater cities. You feel an urge to carry out your regular duties, but you recall it's your day off. It looks like no more detective work today, you think, but you tend to keep an open mind for possible leads. After all, the work never really stops. Your boots crunch leaf litter from the abundant trees that scatter stone-lined dirt roads. Dust kicks up with every step. Your eyes wander the shops. All the quaint buildings are shades of tan, brown, and red. The sturdy wooden structures feel small when your eyes catch glimpses of the rolling fields and forests behind them. Nature cradles this town in many corners. Speaking of corners, there are quite a few you don't recognize. You find this odd because you've walked every corner of Edalorn, right? Then you remember. The wealthy prince that paid you to investigate said something about this phenomenon. You pull the small letter from your bag to make sure you've got it right. The letter states, "Many residents have reported strange alleyways and houses popping up and disappearing overnight. They are suspecting malevolent witchcraft, and are not sure if a greater evil plan is in motion. Other confidential leads suspect the return of a certain banished witch, but no one quite remembers her name. She was last seen 100 years ago. The first witnesses have long since passed." You place the letter back into your bag, neatly folding it to rest. Something catches your eye. Footprints crossing your path that weren't there just seconds ago. They look to be thin boots, much thinner than yours. But with a heel like that, it was sure to make noise, right? And not just that, the path directly conflicts with yours. The tracks are fresh. You could even see dust floating up through the air, but how? Did someone pass through you without your knowledge? You grab onto your shirt, tugging at yourself. Check. Check. Okay. You're still alive and in the physical. You take a deep breath. How utterly strange that was. Your eyes follow the path. The boots lead to... yes, just as you suspected. They're disappearing into the shadows of the unknown alley. This road doesn't have a sign or a name. This house, well, the lights appear to be on, but you can't quite tell what's going on inside. You squint. Are your eyes playing tricks on you? You're not sure. You can see movement, but it's as if the image in the window is a picture book. It's hazy, like a painting in watercolor. You see a shelf, you think, and a person, you think. The figure moves around. Is it searching? The figure turns to you. A pointy hat. Bingo. The witch. Or maybe a grandmother who caught you peeping. You turn away, embarrassed. There is no way it's a witch. You quiet your thoughts and steady your breath. Calm down. Look again. She's staring directly at you, still, and in moments the watercolor image begins to fade. It washes away into darkness and the house goes quiet. You blink. Things look blurry. You blink again. What? The house is gone. It's really gone. Your heart starts racing. This is it. You've got her. Not right where you want her, though. In fact, you don't really know where she went. But you know you've got her, right? A sliver of her tracks. Whatever it was good. The thrill made your heart pound. It was exciting. But where to now? Through the woods, perhaps? But isn't that a bit cliché? You brush the thought away. You never thought the woods were cliché. Where did that come from? You feel like someone's in your head. It's strange. Your thoughts sort of melt together like water. Then they bubble like a cauldron. Then you blink. You're in the woods. You suppose your boots carry you faster than you thought? You blink again. Looking around, your eyes confirm it. A deep, swelling darkness begins to envelop the area. It's night already? You could have sworn you set off early. Your sense of time is completely turned upside down. Maybe it's just that restless feeling when you finally have a day off. Nothing to do, so your brain makes it up along the way. The branches seem to whisper as you walk by. The woods are both quiet and eerily loud. The chirping of crickets, the caw of a crow followed by a mournful owl. It feels like seconds before you find yourself lost. Turning around, you realize you aren't even sure what direction you came from. It seems like something or someone has covered up your tracks. You aren't able to lose yourself in your thoughts before becoming distracted. A line of fireflies leads you further into the woods. With no other path to follow, your body trudges along. The fireflies eventually dive into the ground, fading into darkness. Then, a path of flat stones becomes illuminated with patterns resembling constellations. An echoey voice appears in your head to beckon you further. You heed her call.
Just the soldier I was looking for. Since you're oh so curious, I decided to lead you straight to me. Oh, don't be afraid. The spell will wear off in a moment. Usually when you step through the door, the counter begins. Well, don't be more afraid of that. Everything will feel normal soon enough. So, I do have quite a lot to get through. Why don't you take a seat?
By gods, she has to be at least 7 feet. The tall woman waves her finger in a downward motion, and you find yourself sat in a comfortable throne-like chair. As you briefly look around, you see furniture that appears to be from all sorts of places. A thief, you think, but then you look again. Her skin is pale with a somewhat purple tint. Long, curly locks of hair blend purple and orangey tones with tips like fire. She looks like a painting at sunset. Long eyelashes accompany deep purple eyes with golden, cat-like pupils. Pointy elf ears poke through loose hair. Her witchy hat tips up and down while she eyes you all over, trying to get a good look.
So, who do you work for? Usually, people don't seek misfortune, but here you are, seeking me. It intrigues me, it does. You don't look like royalty. This can't possibly be worth your time. Unless, is the pay really that good? Or are you doing it for some tricky love interest? Oh, maybe a bit of both? I don't have to put a spell on you to spill the truth, do I? Do tell.
That hazy feeling all over your body has just finally disappeared. The panic sets in. You have no idea how you got here. The memories are just blurry bits of information. Darkness, confusion, stepping stones. Your eyes flutter back to hers as you catch your breath.
Like I said earlier, don't be afraid. I just want information, you know? It's not every day someone gets to visit my abode.
You scan her clothes. Dark, witchy, intimidating, but beautiful. You ask where she got it, if she's really from around here.
How observant. Hey, don't be a rat. I'm in fact not from around here. Actually, yes and no. I was here long before you were even a concept. Not that it matters. I'm here now, so... Right, my clothes. Over the years, I've taken much inspiration from different parts of the world. Some may call it thieving, but I like to say I am an artist taking inspiration from other artists. I've had a few tailors when I was younger. They're all probably dust now, but very famous. And, if not famous, they were at least talented.
Your hands finally stop trembling. You take a deep breath, hoping to continue a casual conversation.
You feel scared, but why? Is it because I'm a witch, a woman, or a banished beast? Or maybe, oh dear, it's because I'm all three? You should see the look on your sweet face. Why don't we sit for tea? I've been trying to find something edible in the woods, but things have changed quite a bit, haven't they?
Still sitting, you feel the chair float across the floor. Your legs leave the ground for a moment until you're sat across from her at a luxurious table. The plates and cutlery are all different, beautiful in their own ways, but mismatched. It was like nothing you'd ever seen. Your eyes dart to hers, a bit frustrated. How do I know you haven't put a potion in that? How can I trust you? She stops stirring her cup and tilts her head.
Trust me? You don't have to trust me. I just assumed you were probably thirsty after being dragged here across a few days. Your throat is dry, is it not?
Your throat is dry. It didn't feel that way before, but you think the layering of adrenaline over a hypnosis spell probably hid your ailments. You drink the cup she sets before you, hesitant at first.
It's made with bear bee honey and firewort, among other things. A recipe to soothe the soul and warm the body. I usually drink it in the morning, especially cold mornings, depending on where I find myself.
Guzzling it down, you let the taste sit on your tongue for a moment. Hot, sweet, almost spicy. The honey has these layers of sweetness that wash over you like waves. The flavors cradle you into a much better mood. You begin your questioning.
Ah, so many questions. And what will you do with all this knowledge, loyal detective?
You straighten yourself up, puffing out your chest a bit. You realized you've been a bit too relaxed, but maybe that's her tactic. You raise the stakes. Beginning with empty threats, you start listing all of the ways that she could be in danger here. That witches are being burned again, and a few practicing people have already been caught and taken care of. That Eda Lorne isn't safe for her, even if she believes it to be. Even if she runs, they will find her, and... You feel a tear fall from your eye. A memory unlocks within you, and emotions begin to flood through your broken dam of a heart. One of the witches that was burned instead of banished was your friend. Isla Cloudifus. You can barely remember her face, just her cloudy locks, poofy and white. You remember how bunches of hair would fall in front of her pale eyes. She was blind, but saw through the sky magic she practiced. You remember her saying, "I sense the air around a person, and that is how I know their shape.
Their shapes are so many, and we are so few. I have to hope the air will change the shape of their souls. That is something I never know until it's too late.
It was something ominous she said before she passed away, becoming one with the wind. At that moment, in this mysterious witch's house, you felt Isla's presence for only a second. It was soft, drifting and carefully present, just like the wind. You wiped the tear from your face. The drops float in the air for a moment before falling.
We are what becomes of us, like wind, soil, ash, and the last drop of rain. Elemental witches are highly attuned with their element. We all return to dust somehow, but we will be remembered. I suppose there is more to you than just this fancy get-up. You don't hunt witches, do you? You don't. But you have to make your earnings somehow, and you'd rather be on the winning side of history. Or the living one, right? Rather to keep your life than to shed it for a cause? I understand. Human lives are fragile and fleeting, after all. Your choices are your own. If you could live by that statement, you could give it meaning. I know how it feels to make mistakes. To kill, to burn, to set the sun that graces this world with life. I have made many bad choices. I hurt many people along the path with my bad decisions.
With one snap, she lights her fireplace ablaze. The flames are purple and blue, with hints of orange and yellow. It looks just like her hair, the reflection of a sunset you've never seen. You both become lost in the sight. She continues.
Soldier, I'm afraid my actions are why your friend is gone. I have set a deadly path for any young witch, practicing or born. I left a scar on this world I shouldn't be forgiven for. Not yet. So, I return now, with a hope for change. I am trying to be sneaky to not disturb anyone, but clearly I've done a poor job already.
Ignoring the possibility of her casually reading your mind, you ask how long it's been. The prince said it'd been 100 years since the outlaw witch was banished to the jagged shores. People have been reporting buildings and pathways appearing and disappearing overnight. I'm going to deduce that it's your doing? You sit with your arms crossed, facing the woman who fated your friend to death.
Yes, that is me. I do it so I can figure out where I'd best fit. A few days of observation is all it takes for me to deduce the presence of other witches, any magical objects, or any accepting people. But it seems that, over these long 100 years, many people have chosen hatred over curiosity. At this point, I'm considering becoming one of those animal-obsessed hags who never sees the outdoors. I guess being surrounded by 20 familiars is better than being burned at the stake for my return.
You squint your eyes to picture her surrounded by 20 cats and crows. It certainly suits her, but it would be a lonely existence. You ask why she returned here and didn't just travel somewhere else to start anew.
Nostalgia, maybe. I missed my home. And I'd be damned if I had that siren drop me off to an unknown land. Sirens are tricky. I could sense a mischief about her. A certain Cassia Moon scale. I found her just earlier this month after preparing for my leave. She just wanted my house. I guess it must have been a good deal, since she couldn't use any of my magic, right? A shabby but enchanted shack is better than sleeping in a dark, wet cave. The sight of her still creeps me out. I just hate fish. But I'm grateful she was willing to swim me all the way back. Now that I'm here, I have quite a lot to figure out. Now that I think about it, you seem well acquainted, even if your heart aches while you work. Tell me, are there any other witches you know? Any leads, or are they just scared of me?
You think for a moment. No, you say. Everyone has abandoned their homes or fled elsewhere. I'm not even sure where to. A lot of people say they find comfort in the woods, or dark places where no one searches.
Perfect. Thank you. That is very straightforward, in fact.
You sense sarcasm. The confusion shows on your face.
No, of course it isn't. Half of Edelorn is just fields and forest. If anything, there could be more witches in hiding than townsfolk in plain sight. It does give me a bit of hope, though. I guess we could start by looking for someone's familiar. Perhaps sending a discreet message could work. Would you mind?
She waves her hand, and a puff of purple smoke reveals a letter in front of you. It floats gently into your palms. You grasp it. It's so old that it feels like it's going to fall apart. Even the ink is faded, almost to the point it's illegible. When did you write this, you ask, worried it's going to literally fade into ash if a leaf blows your way.
I wrote it around 30 years ago, give or take. Maybe 40. It was for when I had a crisis on that accursed island.
Was what she wrote here even relevant now? You question why she doesn't just write a new letter.
Oh, you amuse me. It has a spell on it. It's protected. Weathering won't hurt it. It looked like that to begin with. I had to chop coconut trees thin enough to meld into paper with a few other materials, emphasis on few. The jagged shores are both barren and abundant with everything you just don't need. Now, what do you say? Want to give this job a go? Revitalizing the status of a witch in town might help your morals stay a bit more aligned. Couldn't hurt, could it? After all, the pay is great, and you even get to travel by portal.
A purple-orangey oval appears in a standing mirror in one corner of the room. A fiery mist burns around its edges. It beckons you. But this time it isn't a woman's voice in your head. It's your own heart tugging you forward.
To hell with the prince?
You step forward with the letter, nodding to the witch. But before you enter, you ask what you should do first when you're on the other side.
Follow your heart's fire, and it shall lead to what you desire. You'll find a familiar somewhere, with crow wings or cat hair. Don't be fooled into better pay. You'll find it's more fulfilling this way. Go where the wind takes you. Something tells me that someone is still watching over you. Now, with the wind. Oh, and tell them Octavia Daystone sent you. It's my new name. Now, what kind of cookie should I bake this time? Elmwood? No. Bitterroot. Oh, what about chrysanthemum? Yes, perhaps that and some sugar cubes. Flame roasted. I can smell it now.